Uncut Gems. For me, an unexpected 135-minute film experience that involves frustration, stupidity, high levels of anxiety, humor, desperation, and let's be honest, exhaustion. I watched that film and during the film it had my whole attention, my full attention. It was undivided. And as soon as it was done, I literally had to sit down and just rest in a quiet room. It was a lot. But what I really want to talk about today, and to be fair, this whole film inspired me to talk about it, is one particular scene that encapsulates the whole essence of the film. And for me, it was probably the most anxiety-inducing scene in the whole film. That scene would be the scene in which Kevin Durant comes back to the jewelry shop to return the black opal and ends up stuck in the jewelry shop's man trap and can't be let out. And before I get into this, I just want to say spoiler alerts, okay? Spoiler alerts. This is your spoiler alert warning. After this point, I cannot be held responsible for ruining this film for you, okay? Alright, sweet, let's get into it. First, obviously, before I talk about the film, let's just run it back and have a little recap about what the actual film is about. So, Adam Sandler plays Howard Ratner, a Jewish Diamond District jeweler who happens to be addicted to gambling, and his vice more than anything is basketball gambling. And we see throughout the film that he owes several people gambling debts, most of all his brother-in-law Arno, who's becoming tired of his excuses, his smooth talking, and at the end of the day wants him to pay up or he's going to face some serious consequences. Howard puts all of his faith into a rare Ethiopian gem called a black opal, which he feels can sell for £1 million. And obviously this £1 million will be able to pay off not only Arnold's debts, but all of his little other debts he has with various side characters, and everything will work out. And by chance, basketball player Kevin Durant is brought into his store to look for some new jewelry. Howard shows him this opal that he's been waiting ages to get. Shows it to Durant, gives him a little backstory about the black Ethiopian Jews in the mountains, and tells him to look inside the opal. Look inside the opal. So Durant looks inside the opal and has an out-of-body experience. He's taken into the universe of this opal. It's crazy. It's so surreal that he ends up breaking the counter. And after that experience, he begs for the gem. He's like, I want it. I need it. Give it to me. I want it. I want it. I want it. And, not through no lack of trying, reluctantly, Howard, agrees to give him this opal. And in turn, Garnett has the game of his life. And this begins the whole rat race to get the gem. One of the weird things that we see of Howard throughout this film is he's able to keep a sense of control. A fragile, very fragile sense of control, but he's still somewhat in control over the debts that he owns to the loan sharks with his weird juggling act of hinging bets and smooth talking his way out of situations. And this opal, this thing that he's been dependent on, he's been waiting on, this opal that he's been bigging up to everyone, this opal which essentially is going to save him, is the one thing that he really does not have control over at all. So the scene starts with Howard on his phone and we see a man losing. And it's not like we haven't seen him lose throughout the film, but at this current moment, he's desperately losing and he's trying to keep it together and he's juggling phone calls. So we see him trying to smooth talk the auction company who are meant to auction off his black opal, but they're running out of patience as they have not received this opal. And obviously this auction company is probably the most important part of this whole opal experience because they're essentially going to save my guy's back. We see him frantically calling Garnett's representatives, trying to find out where he is, trying to get this opal back, even trying to threaten them into giving him his opal back. He's threatening them with legal action, telling them who he is, talking that talk. We also see him having a passive-aggressive argument with his mistress after we see her doing a couple questionable things with The Weeknd. This guy, his back is against the wall. He's fighting, but he is desperately fighting. And just as all of this is happening and we imagine that my guy is gonna lose, he's losing his head, Garnett shows up. However, in the life of Howard, what we've seen so far is nothing is easy. And there's an error in the security mechanism on the door, which means that, you know, when you go into jewelry shops and you've got a little man trap in the middle, Howard and his entourage are stuck in this man trap. And most importantly of all, the gem is stuck in this security man trap. The sounds in the scene are brilliant. The sound of the buzzer, which is meant to unlock the door, is almost deafening and unnerving. The background jewelry cleaning machinery makes the scene feel more busy. Garnett and his entourage's condensed pissed off pleas as they're trapped to make you feel cramped and claustrophobic. Howard banging on the door's magnetic security release with a hammer makes you feel his desperation. Howard is losing it. The thing that he needs to pay off all of his debts. The reason he's been smooth talking, avoiding loan sharks, risking his life. The gamble he's placed everything on is right there in front of him and he just can't get it. And it's frustrating. Not only frustrating for him, but as a viewer, it's frustrating. Though Howard eventually manages to open a door and free Garnett and most importantly his precious gem, the black opal, this scene is his life. He's juggling all of his problems, he's surrounded by noise, he is trapped by his debts, he is gambling everything. This scene made me feel all types of feelings when watching this. And that's the brilliance the Safdie brothers not only created in this scene, but throughout the film. It's high speed, but it's slow. A lot is happening, but nothing is happening at all. You love Howard and you want everything to work out, but also you hate him because he is his own biggest problem. All of the emotions were felt. I literally can't talk about this film enough. It's brilliant. When I heard it was Adam Sandler's best role, I didn't believe it, but I am saying this categorically. This is the best role I have ever seen him play. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. It makes sense why it took 10 years to make and why only Adam Sandler could do it. It's just fantastic. Let me know what you think about this film. Let me know what you think about this scene. Comment below. If you've got any other theories or any other understandings, please let me know. And thank you so much for watching.